Okay, welcome everyone. It's great to see such a big crowd. Very, very impressive. Thank you for joining us. 2022 sees WWBIC 15 years as a working biological record centre. First, we were the LRC, the local record centre, and now everyone knows us as LERCs, local environmental record centres. Probably better reflects the work we do now. So in this last year, our staff has increased from 4 to 5. Last year you met Karis and Yusuf, and we now have joined us Laura Moss as Biodiversity Information Assistant. And you'll meet Laura later when she's talking about a big meadow project. I have to say that for me as the manager, I'm really pleased that we've got such a great team now at WWBIC. So it's traditional to talk about numbers or records at these events. So if I can skip to that, the next slide, let's hope it works. I've just tried that and nothing happened. Dear me, let's go back. So got a problem here. The screen isn't moving on. Here we are. Maybe it's just a bit of a lag. So good to see that the numbers are still increasing. We've got around 3.2 million records in the database, in the WWBIC database. These last 2 years of the pandemic, which are up here at the top right, roughly similar in terms of the record numbers coming in, a little bit more in 2021 and 2020. But when you look at the graph over the 15 years, it's not too dissimilar to some earlier years, pre-2015. So it remains to be seen whether things will pick up. If we are going back to some sort of post-COVID normality, let's hope so. And the records come in from a variety of sources. I can't list them all. 35 coming in directly, different recorders, data providers coming in directly to WWBIC in the last year, which is somewhat fewer than usual. It's generally around about the 50 mark, but good numbers coming in. And I did want to say too that it doesn't really reflect the total number of people recording. We've got the WWBIC online, which I think around about, it was just under 10,000 records came in the calendar year for 2021. So the total is now 65,500 coming in from the online recording site. And the total now for the Lake Wales app for our region is around about 10,350, so 10,725 there. I would like to say that one of the things that we've noticed about these recording tools is that there is a good spread, a geographical spread across the region. When you look at the spread coming in, so the extending at the 10K level, it covers the whole of the 10K square level, covers the whole of the region. So that is very good, because we do need to increase our geographic coverage in certain areas. We combine them with the other LERCs in Wales. So we now have an impressive 17 million records in the Lake Wales database, which is an extraordinary asset and resource for biodiversity and conservation in Wales. And it does get used very widely, which I will go on to talk about. So just moving, I'm hoping the slides are going to. So across the 3 counties, this pie chart has hardly changed much in 15 years. Again, has always been a little bit behind, but the numbers are going up. That's the good thing. So just over 1 million in Carmarthenshire and Pembrokeshire, and somewhere under the 1 million in Ceredigion. But we target areas to record, and hopefully we can increase the proportions, the proportion for Ceredigion. And on the website, there's a a map of this distribution at the 1p square. The blue areas, this map actually is due for an update. The annual update is this month. I would imagine that although we might see some squares changing colour, the general trend is the same for the current year. But do look at that if you're looking for somewhere to go and record. Sorry, I'm just struggling here with the... Okay, sorry. So what do we do with the records? Well, obviously we are making these available to decision makers, to various organizations, and think although we've spoken before about Aderyn, it has been for the past few years the principal mechanism for dissemination of species data. So developed by BIS and adopted by the whole consortium of Welsh LRCs, it's a search platform sourcing species data from the merged database of those 17 million records. And it brings in other habitats and sites, including and importantly local wildlife sites. It's the only place you can go to see local wildlife sites and to search for local wildlife sites, the whole of Wales. And it's the first place to look if you have any reason or interest in species records, either professionally or for your own interest. And this is the public access level, which is 2 search tools. And again, although I've mentioned it before, we had a recent seminar with Welsh Government staff, not the usual people we deal with, but the wider populace, if you like, of Welsh Government staff. And they were really intrigued. It really got them interested, and people were posting their sort of search results onto the chat line. So I think it's worth pushing this again to you. If you haven't seen it or haven't used it, you can look for species records in your area, produce a list, or you can look for you enter the species and look at the distribution across Wales. So these are the public access tools that you see at the top bar. But Aderyn is a really powerful search tool, and other partners, recorders have access to other modules. This is what I can see when I log in, and those across the top bar are all the different modules for Aderyn. Very powerful tool, and I've included this chart because it illustrates the increase in the use of Aderyn amongst those organisations who hold service level agreements with Wales or WWBIC. The time scale on this bar chart doesn't bring us up to the end of 21, but it does show the increase in most cases of usage for Aderyn. And I've added these 2 columns, pairs of columns, which are purely WWBIC. The rest of it is all Wales. These are WWBIC's data inquiries for consultants coming in and asking us for data searches. And not only is it increasing in total number and the proportion going to Aderyn, but increasing, and you can see that very few now are actually run on our own desktop GIS. Vast majority are done on Aderyn. And in terms of the organizations using it, there's quite a few numbers on this. So if I just let you have a look at that for a minute. So as well as the ability to run the searches for the partners, there's lots of analysis tools built into Aderyn, which enable us, the LRCs, to track the usage in several ways. We can do this by organization, by the individual user, or by the area. So WWBIC's region, for example, excuse me. So those searches for the first few organizations there, Dwr Cymru, 435 in that 2021 year, and 87 searches in the WWBIC region. The last three in that list are purely for the WWBIC region, and it shows you the numbers of searches that Carmarthenshire and Ceredigion have run through their service level agreement. I would say that Pembrokeshire County Council and Pembrokeshire Coast National Park search our data. They do have access to our data and they do search our data, but they do it in a different way. We provide the data to them. So those are the organisational searches. Doesn't include the public access searches, which there are hundreds. And the people using it therein and the organisations using it therein is increasing almost daily. Very impressive number of individual users registered on it therein, well over 1,000. So moving on to project work. This is titled this Adding Value to Alert Data. This is what we want to do, as well as doing our traditional core work, which is managing the data and disseminating that data through data search tools and partner agreements. I'm not going to dwell on this one. I'm just going to let you see that, quickly run through that. I normally would use an example, but Yusuf will be giving you an example of some of the project work he's been doing later. So just to say that we have been busy with the LNP Cymru project for local nature partnerships. We did a project in partnership with Subrec to create a web mapping tool for Brecon Beacons National Park local nature partnership. There was an all Wales collaborative project with Bumblebee Conservation Trust. Very good project, very well managed by Adam Rowe, the manager at Subrec. And we've more recently done some habitat suitability mapping for North East Wales local nature partnerships. And ecosystem resilience mapping, which Yusuf has just been doing this month for Carmarthenshire County Council. So that's all the data stuff, but of course one of the core functions of the Record Centre is the engagement and support for the recording community, and still a large part of the core work. So this other ways that we've helped them, we've worked with Richard Smith, excuse me, Butterfly Conservation, to very quickly, this is all the staff worked very hard on this, and I was amazed at how quickly they managed to do this, to get a series of downloadable maps up on the website to target areas to look for brown hairstreak eggs before the season, this year's season came to an end. Staff have also helped Denise Plume with the data for the Carmarthenshire Bat Atlas, and you'll hear more about that later. Caris is gradually updating our website with these and other changes, and we kept up our involvement with the Wales Nature Week and coordinated the Wales Garden BioBlitz with the other LERCs. The Commoner Garden recording pages are up on our website, and these are aimed more at the novice level of recorder. Go through a regular refresh. Moved from Commoner Garden to Commoner Coastal at the end of last year. Records continued to be added, and it's an easy hit for new people to go onto the website, fill in a simple form, and they'll place a pin on this map, so they get an instant feedback really to see that their record's been put into the system. Social media is important. I'm glad that our staff are much more savvy than I am when it comes to social media. I'm a bit of a Luddite in that respect. So Facebook, Twitter, and our YouTube channel, which is showing here. Please have a look if you're not already friends on Facebook and such like. There's more things being added to the YouTube channel, as will excerpts from this recorder forum. But we still like to get out with the experts, and 2021, thankfully, saw us back out on recording days when the COVID restrictions lifted. So we managed to get to 3 sites, 1 in each county. This is Blaengilfa in Carmarthenshire. The Ceredigion visit. I put engaging, but this is the recorders engaging, or are recorders engaging? We could see that recorders are engaging. I find them engaging anyway. So engaging recorders. This is Blaenbors, lovely site. But excuse me, my voice has gone a bit. There's Arthur Chater, Lynn Gander, and Paul. And we he took this picture, which he entitles Arthur Chater in a Scrape. It was a lovely site, meadows, scrapes, and 5-spot burnets were out in force for some reason. There were lots and lots of them. Just to time it right for them. The Pembrokeshire visit was to Lethamadden. This is a nice picture of the Pembrokeshire county recorders doing quite a good job of social distancing there. I think that's nice to see. There's sing round the pond in the break. The owners there are in fairly early stages of getting their land back into the shape they want it, with a less intensive regime of farming. And one of the highlights was this valerian rust fungus that David Harris spotted. He's kindly sent us a close-up of the organism there. I'm not going to attempt to give you its scientific name. Star of the day was undoubtedly this character. This is Brian the jackdaw. He took a great interest in us, and as you can see, he's now off to do a bit of recording. It's a new recruit. I'm just going to leave you now with a shot from our Facebook page. This is the most recent record of the week. Black oil beetle there. Please do engage with our social media if that is your thing. Otherwise, there are other ways to do it and to engage with us. Have a look at our website. Looking forward to an exciting and interesting year ahead. I was just thinking about this not long before we came on to the forum, and I was thinking back that Karas and Yusuf joined us at the end of 2019, really after the season, the recording season, and it was just a few months before COVID hit. So not really getting a chance to see how, what we do in a normal year, and to meet people in the way that we would normally do. So definitely looking forward to getting out, meeting recorders, both old and new. So thank you very much.